This landfill was opened in 1966, been operational since then, and looked to be operational for about another 75 years. We service the population of 200,000 for the Central Okanagan Regional District, and there's a lot more that goes into landfill than people ever would know. Airspace is really what a landfill produces. It's what we're allowed to put garbage into by the province. And so the more effectively and cost efficiently we do that, the longer we can have this asset and the cheaper we can make it for the general public in the long run. We have two primary pieces of equipment that work in this area. First is the Bulldozer, which takes the garbage, spreads it out in a thin layer, 1 to 2 feet thick. And then behind that is the Compactor. The Compactor is what does the real heavy work, taking the garbage and crushing it up as small and tight as possible. That's how we maximize the airspace, is by getting it as compact as possible. So there's a lot of misconception out in the general public that we're just filling a big hole. We actually recover about 30% of the material that comes into this site on an annual basis. These would be items like clean wood that are ground and sent off site for fuels, green waste, which is ground and used for making Glengrow compost, drywall, scrap metal, tires, and mattresses that are all managed and sent back off site as product. There's a lot of engineering that goes into this site. Leachate is the water that runs through garbage. That material can get contaminated with all of the things that people throw in their household waste. This means that we need to treat that material appropriately, so we capture it, do a pre-treatment on it, and then send it to the wastewater treatment plant, where the guys down there do a fantastic job treating it before it goes to the lake.
When you're designing a landfill such as this, you have to think into the future and make sure that the components that are put in one phase will connect to the components put in another phase.
Behind us you can see Area 2. This is about a $4 million project where we put in a series of 3 liners to protect the environment, and then a whole bunch of leachate collection materials on top of that to make sure that we're capturing any water that goes to the garbage.
Any failure of the infrastructure is almost impossible to fix and requires mitigation instead, which is quite a bit more expensive than putting it in properly to begin with.
The more effort that goes into it now means that we can prevent any problems with ruptured liners or broken pipes down the future. When there's 30 meters of garbage on top of it, we can't get to it and do an easy repair. I'm most proud of the fact that we're trying to leave this site better for our kids than it was when we started this site. A lot of technology and a lot of advancements are being made in waste management, not just in day-to-day landfill operations, but just in better waste reduction and waste recovery. So I think the next 15 to 20 years is going to be exciting to really get to a point where we're keeping a lot more of the materials out of this landfill.